Welcome to this video looking at indicating right at a roundabout. Is it a good idea or not? And I'm going to say no, it's not a good idea. So in this picture, just from the Wikipedia article, you can see this is how some people drive. They'll drive and they'll indicate all the way. So, for instance, they'll indicate all the way there, and then once they get past about to this point, then they'll indicate left and go this way. Now, my feeling is that's a complete waste of time. And the reason for that is because the position of the car, and also, I mean, this is something which is, I looked it up, and apparently, like, advanced drivers also think it's a waste of time. The typical way that, I mean, that I've heard is that you basically only need to indicate left when you're leaving the roundabout. Any other indication is kind of pointless. Because this, you see this car here, right? It's going around the roundabout. Say we're going to see an exit from this point here, right? This car, by the time it gets around here, it's still going to be really close to the roundabout, right? It's not going to even think about leaving until it sort of, splinters off from here somewhere, right? So this right signal, the position of the car will basically mean that all the cars are here. They're going to see this car hugging the roundabout, and they'll know it's not going to come off. So that right signal is pointless. Another reason I don't like the right signal here is because it's actually an uncomfortable procedure to go from the right signal to the left signal. It's like, and why do that? Why not just put the left signal on from nothing? Because if you think about it, you have to go 2 steps in the, you have to go all the way down to the left, right? You go down, down, and it's 2 steps in it. And also the way that you're turning the steering wheel as well is not really conducive to what you're actually going to be doing with the indicator. So it's kind of like a little bit awkward, and that's not good, right? So that's basically why I think that indicating right is a waste of time. Another thing as well is that typically your sort of route round the roundabout. This is not the best image, but typically, like, there's a thing called the 12 o'clock rule, which is obviously one of the main things in roundabouts, where if you only go around, so for instance, here you're always going to be in the left lane, right? So here you could, potentially, I guess the totally accurate thing would probably be to be in the middle there and then going through the middle there. But the exit, that's the thing. It's not like delineated like what the exit route should be. You can't just say, oh, well, I'm just going to go here, then I'm going to stick right to the middle of this and then go right through the middle here. I mean, you could do it that way, but it doesn't. In theory, it doesn't make a lot of difference, and it's also dependent on if there might be there might be parked cars here or something. There might be various different things going on, um, but yeah, I mean, yeah, I guess like if there's a very heavy traffic, you may want to do the middle lane. But often there's only 2 here, and 2 is generally means forward and left on the left, and then just right here. So it also is a way, like, if you're going right, this is always the path, right? It's always just like, I guess the path is like this, right? That's the sort of path you go. A slight, maybe like a 20-degree angle into the roundabout, just so you're matching the curvature of the roundabout. And yeah, I mean, why do you need to indicate? And the way that it's taught is that you're supposed to literally indicate your right signal here. So you're going out here, right? You indicate your right signal here. And when you think about it, you're indicating right here to go out here. But what useful information is that telling any other car? And the answer is none, of course. It makes no difference, right? Because if you're in the right lane, it's obviously going to be beelining towards that roundabout and going around it. So, yeah. But yeah, some people think that, like, oh, if you're indicating right, then these cars, like, these cars are thinking like, oh, I'm going to go, and then they see the right indicator and then they don't go. That's basically what I understand the reason, like the objections to what I'm saying. But I just think these cars, if you see that the car is on the roundabout, you're not going to be going because the way, yeah, if you're not from the UK, you might not know this, but basically the way when you approach any junction at all, you're always basically looking into the right area, right? Because there's going to be cars coming from here. There's going to be who knows what could be going on. But basically, as long as there's nothing coming from the right area, it basically means nothing's coming, right? So then you can make your exit wherever, right? And it's like if the cars, if the cars would have to, like, they would have to assume that you're going to go down here, right? And then you don't go down there, and then you like meet up with them here. But you're close enough to the roundabout. The thing is, right, is it also does depend on the actual roundabout size. Like if it is like a little spot roundabout with like I would say that on any kind of big roundabout where there's like a central like little grassland reservation in the middle, there's no way you need to use the right signal for anything. If it is just like a little spot on the ground, I can kind of see like there's in that situation there's more credence to the opposing argument of using the right indicator. Um, but even so, I just feel like if the car changes a lot in you know like from this point, right, the car, if you're following the roundabout and going to this exit, the car is going through an almost 90-degree turn even before you get to this point, right? So even if this person is looking out here, right? Because I guess this guy, if he's going right, he's going towards here, right? So he'll come out. Yeah, I mean, it's like he'll do the B line for the roundabout as well, right? So his B line would be into, which is it's just I'm just trying to think of it. It's there, right? Yeah, that would be the B line if he's going right. I mean, yeah. When you think about it like that, I guess it kind of makes a little bit more sense to why you might want to have the indicator right. But I don't know. I guess that is the only concern, that this guy might be thinking, that I can make the beeline because this, but I don't know. It's kind of like weird. Like I can kind of see both ways to it, because in this situation it kind of does make sense, but I think the actual motion of changing from right indicator to left indicator, you actually lose a little bit of control on the steering wheel, because it's a more, it just doesn't seem worth it. It really doesn't seem worth it. And it's not even about that. It's also about, is it actually better to do it that way or not? Because if you have everyone thinking, well, they've got no indicator, I don't think they're leaving the roundabout here. Wouldn't that be better? So anyway, yeah. So that's my thoughts on it. So thanks for watching.